tell me how you think it's going to go each week for UCLA and why.
Ever since I met Sam freshman year, he has always had a much more positive outlook on every single UCLA season. We were in a linguistics 1 class, and I remember him telling me, "Oh, we can easily go 7-5, 8-4 this season." I said, "Sam, we're going to be lucky to break 4-8 this year." I thought we were maybe going to go 3-9 and 2-10. We had already lost a couple games, but I'm actually on the other side this year. I think we've got a pretty good schedule, and depending on how that seeded game works, I think it's a 5-2 season for UCLA Bruins. Which, yes, I see the shock look on Sam's face. That is huge. Let me run you through this. Week 1, Colorado, you have to come out strong and get a win. This is a team that you beat by double digits last year. Obviously, you are traveling to Colorado, which is a little tough, but a Saturday game that you've been preparing for, they've got a new head coach, new quarterback, you have to win that game. Then week 2, at home against Utah, Friday night, I think they come out with a win there too. I think that is a big shock victory, especially on a short week, but they get Utah in the Rose Bowl. There won't be fans there. There might be friends and family there, but I think the lack of pressure on them, they're just going to feel like, hey, just go out there, have fun, play, and they're going to get a win. Week 3 at Oregon, that's a loss. They're going to come off the high of the Utah win, and they're going to get beat by a better team, and that's okay. As long as you make it competitive, that is an okay loss. No one's expecting you to travel up to Eugene on a Friday and win a football game, especially against a stacked Oregon team. That's okay. But then it's week 4 against Arizona, where I think they will also suffer a lot. Oh, wait. Yes, week 4 at Arizona. No, sorry. Against Arizona at home, they will also suffer a loss. And that will be a demoralizing loss for the Bruins, unfortunately. They will probably come off that Oregon game beat up. They'll have an extra day to rest, but they'll come back home and just suffer a freak loss like they always seem to. They always seem to have one Pac-12 game that they should be competitive in, and they just can't win it out. But then they're going to roll with 3 straight wins at Arizona State, which hopefully I'm able to attend that game, against USC, a big rivalry win, because if there's one thing UCLA is good at doing, it's beating USC when they're not expected to. As a UCLA watcher since I was very young, I remember fondly some of those wins in the mid-2000s where it seemed like USC was an unstoppable juggernaut, and then UCLA comes out with a fluke win. I think that happens again this year. And then whoever they face in that seeded game, which I hope, I'll say this again, I hope it's Stanford, they'll come out with the win and finish with a 5-2 season and go to a hopefully good bowl game. Sam, you've already made your picks on Sports Pac-12, but reiterate them, please, for our audience here.
Of course. So kicking things off with a victory at Colorado. I mean, you said it, they have a new coach, but I don't want to oversimplify things here, but when you have a new coach and a new quarterback, week 1 with limited fall camp, spring camp, that's a killer. So I don't really think Colorado has much of a chance. ESPN FPI favors UCLA by about 20%-ish. So I think that's a pretty comfortable win. Utah, I mean, there's so much roster turnover there. They lose Zach Moss, they lose Julian Blackman, they lose Huntley. That's tough. But ever since I have been at UCLA, Utah has blown out the Bruins every single time, and I don't see that changing. Whittingham's a great coach, and I think Utah is just a better run program. So even if it is a Friday at home, I don't think UCLA can pull it out. And then Oregon the week after, like you said, heavy underdogs going up against the favorite in the Pac-12 on the road on a Friday. Don't think it's going to happen. But then Saturday at Arizona is the only other FPI favored game for UCLA. I think that's a pretty comfortable win. They should have beat them last year if it weren't for a missed field goal, some injuries, some key drops. And then add in the fact that that's at home, I think that's a win. Arizona State's the one for me that I think they can pull that out. Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback, and they do have some consistency there. But at the same time, I don't know if they're that much better than UCLA, or if they were last year. They were both 4-5 in the Pac-12. So everyone coming in saying Arizona State or should be ranked or should be the favorite in the Pac-12 South, I just don't buy into that hype. And Herm Edwards is a decent head coach, and I feel like that's what you can say about Chip Kelly at this point, his UCLA tenure too. So I think that's a winnable game, and I think they pull off that upset on the road. And USC is a more talented team. Keaton Slovis is really good. I think that's a loss too. But then the championship week, I'll give it to the Bruins because Chip Kelly said today it'll be based on seeding, but they'll shuffle things so they don't play the same North team twice. The only team in the North that UCLA can't beat is Oregon, and they aren't going to be playing them again. So I'll take UCLA against Washington State, Washington, Oregon State, Cal, Stanford. Take your pick. I'm taking UCLA.
You really think that Arizona State's not that much better than us? Because I do think Arizona State is a better team than us. But I don't know if they are a better coach team or if they're going to just get trapped in that game. That'll be their trap game for them. I'm not predicting a UCLA will win because they're the better team. I'm predicting that's a UCLA upset.
I think that it will be perceived as an upset because Arizona has a lot of hype, and having Herm Edwards as a big figure there is huge, and having Jaden Daniels as a maybe not Heisman contender this year, but maybe the year after, he has a lot of hype built up. They've produced a lot of flashy receivers, whether it's Brandon Ayuk or N'Keal Harry over the last couple of years. They're a flashy program, and people will be talking about them. But when it comes to game day, I think UCLA is going to show that they're on equal footing when it comes to talent and coaching, and I think it'll be a close game. I don't think Arizona State's horrible, but I'm picking UCLA to come out on top there.